My wife sent $250,000 to a romance scammer. So this is from Scamfish, presented by socialcatfish.com.
What's up, Seekers? Welcome back to another episode of Scamfish presented by socialcatfish.com. We got a special episode for you guys today. Our team traveled down to Indiana to get to know a couple named Brian and Sarah. The two have been married for 22 years and they have stuck by each other's side through it all. Their relationship was put to the test when Brian found out about Sarah's online friend named John. Sarah claims her intentions were only to be friends. The two messaged each other and started an online relationship. She has sent hundreds of thousands of dollars in hopes to meet this man in person. She reached out to us to verify his true identity. Let's jump into it, guys.
My name is Sarah.
Let's get it,
I'm
Sarah.
married.
Oh, what was that?
I've been for 22 years. My husband is very supportive with all my weird, crazy wackiness. He's very open-minded when it comes to that. I'm truly very, very lucky that I found the person I did.
How many of y'all are just like screaming simp?
Oh gosh, this is so embarrassing.
They love cats, by the way.
I am obsessed with penis. I have a penis that looks like a Tyrannosaurus Rex, one that looks like a dragon.
I think we have the same headphones.
Any costume that I had, I would pin penises on it. It's just like I was a Christmas tree one time and the ornaments were a penis.
It's always the quiet, unassuming ones who are obsessed with dick.
I'm just quirky and weird and everything when it comes to that. And
just quirky and weird.
I don't always stop and think of the consequences to my actions.
Brian supported all of Sarah's hobbies and interests. He even agreed it was okay for Sarah to have friendships with strangers over the internet.
Unbelievable.
I talk to people online. It's not a new thing.
You can get anything as a dick now.
I don't think it is wrong for somebody to have relationships of both sexes. Do we let other people in our sex life? No. Would he be open to it if I did? If I wanted that? Probably, just because that's how he is. Would he do it? I don't think so.
Brian trusted Sarah. He didn't suspect anything when he caught his wife chatting with John through Instagram direct messages.
The first message was on Instagram, your normal conversation where it comes to when you're trying to meet or when you're meeting somebody, like your hobbies and all that kind of stuff. Then it just kind of snowballed with, are you married? And I was like, yes, I'm married. And I asked him if he was married. He was not. He asked me
sweating emojis.
The standard questions of whether I had children or not, which I do not. I was looking for, I guess, friendship, nothing else. But as time went on, I felt that that was not the case.
John's got the riz.
I'm married. It's still nice to hear that, that people find me attractive.
Yeah, she's getting rizzed up right now. Rizz your way to 250K.
John and Sarah would talk all through the morning and night. The relationship started to become more intimate by the day.
Wait, I have to read this comment. Oh my god. Do I control him having sex with others? Yes. Did I check with him whether I should send someone else $250,000? No.
I thought he was very nice. Obviously, he was easy on the eyes.
Man, bros who catfish women always steal military dude pics.
No beard, but sometimes
they know lonely ladies with money always simp for military dudes.
He looks like he probably works out quite a bit.
In case y'all need a side hustle.
Nice, like six-pack. He does have some tattoos. One's on his chest. And then his arm is tatted up as well. But to me, he's just a very attractive man. And it was nice to have somebody that looked like that think that I was pretty.
If I were catfishing U.S. women, I would also include some stolen valor in there.
He would say
We've
that
all been
he
at that
loved
table.
me, that he
Maybe
wanted
not
to
in this
take care of me.
situation. I want to provide for you. It doesn't look like you're doing a lot of that,
Had
John.
feelings for me. Maybe my actions came across as I'm still talking to him usually once a week. He would use the terms of endearment, babe, honey, love, all the time. Never my name.
Before Sarah's online adventure, life was simple.
Man, he's
Bills
doing
were
the
paid
work.
on time. The two didn't have kids, but they loved their cat like one. She enjoyed
Aw.
talking to John, but
That's
he
a cute
just
cat.
seemed to always have a problem that involved money.
Shortly after I met him, he got deployed to Syria. Supposedly, his accounts were frozen. He got
Yeah, her husband
injured.
isn't
He
bad looking
got
either.
shot on a mission. He needed the money that I sent him to come back from Syria.
Oh, it's giving Tinder
he had to have the money
swindler.
to be able to get the flight because he needed to leave before the mission was up because he wasn't feeling well. Yeah, I don't want anybody to die because they can't get basic needs.
John's request for money did
Well, then why aren't you
stop.
sending
Their
250K to all the other
requests seemed like they
soldiers?
would
Why
never
just the
come
hot
to an end.
ones?
All Sarah wanted to do was
You
meet
ain't
this man
Ferda,
in
you just
person,
for the hot
so she
ones.
sent even more money. He guilted her by sending these photos of his wounds from the battlefield.
This is exactly what the
After
Tinder
first time he
swindler
asked
did,
for money is
dude.
probably when it started going downhill. I probably sent him money every week to 2 weeks for probably a good solid 6 to 8 months. I cashed in a couple life insurances, and I
Wait.
cashed in
How? Huh? What do you mean you cashed in a couple life insurances? What do you mean by that? Is that something you can just do? Because I literally was just listening to the That Chapter podcast, and he was covering how he's always covering true crime cases about people who like kill their spouse for life insurance. He has a whole like dance that do. If you know, you know. About how people will kill their spouse for life insurance. Seems like it's a pretty hard thing to get if that's what people have to do to get it. And then when she couldn't get her life insurance from the spouse, she literally attempted to paralyze herself so that she could claim the spinal cord injury life insurance policy. Which, poo, all right, people will clearly do whatever, but you can take some out. So it's basically interesting. So you're not like getting the life insurance money, you're borrowing it. So some people use their life insurance plan as like a small home improvement loans, or in her case, like a try to get laid by John fund. Man, I was afraid she was going to say retirement, but that one kind of threw me for a loop, so I had to figure that one out. You're lending money from yourself, basically. Okay. Obviously something you don't want to have to do because that's pretty irresponsible. You can borrow from your 401k. I didn't know this. It was probably better for me to not know that for myself, because now I'm going to, like, if I ever find myself in a dire financial situation, if I'm ever getting scam-fished, now I know that I can always just borrow a little old money from future Lauren so that I can also screw her over.
my retirement fund, and I sent him 100% of the money. Had a Discover card for $15,000, and I sent him that as well. And that's maxed out beyond maxed, because he would. This is terrible. Oh, I hate talking about this because it makes me feel stupid. He would pay that and then have me withdraw more money once the balance got down where I could withdraw some more money, and then that payment would bounce.
John had all of Sarah's personal information, emails, passwords, debit
Oh my
and credit card PIN
God,
numbers
she
too.
really gave it
When
up.
we looked over her Discovery credit card transactions,
She gave
we
up
could see
everything
when
but the
John was
kitty,
making
y'all.
payments. He would take cash advances and then pay the card off. This built trust with Sarah and also made her believe that he was real.
Oh, the Tinder swindler did this! I wonder if this guy is the Tinder swindler, or at least like took
Over
his
time,
course.
Sarah was left with a $15,000 credit debt.
And had checks sent. Had like
My
blank
ex-wife
checks.
didn't even have my passwords.
So I cashed those checks through my personal bank. Like I wrote myself a check. Sent him the $9,000. And that money bounced, and I had to pay that money back. He has my social security, he has my driver's license, he has my full name, he knows who my parents' names are, he knows my sister's name. He could destroy me, for sure. I haven't sent him any money now. It's been 2 weeks. 2 weeks now.
That duck lip Riz.
The last time I sent him money, and that
Power.
was simply because he was starving.
The amount started to pile up and Sarah lost track of how much money she was sending. He needed money for food, water, medicine, hospital fees, plane tickets. His stories never ended. This guy was either a scammer or the unluckiest man on the planet. They never video chatted, and Sarah is still claiming she was never in love with John. After sending thousands of dollars just in plane tickets, John finally made it on a plane and left Syria.
All right,
But he was
as this goes on, I'm
detained in
feeling
Pennsylvania as soon
less
as he
and less bad for the husband.
exited the plane.
Once things progressed and John wanted money, I did not
But she said
originally
my
tell my
account, not our
husband.
account.
I
Oh.
kept it
Here
a
we go.
secret.
Ah, okay, here we go. Now we
He
know.
knew how to
She did keep it a secret.
play on my weaknesses.
It's a sad world we live in where legitimately good men are rejected by women, yet a scammer
There's
can
that
suck
little
money out of
bit
women
of
with
hope.
ease.
That he's not lying
Isn't it
and he's not a
just?
piece of shit. And that if I can keep him alive, that maybe he'll find a way to get out of his situation that he's in now. I want to know why the heck our military is treating people like this. He's not being provided like your basic needs.
Oh man, now the military is
he's in the
taking
United
heat for
States,
this.
and I said, you're close enough, like you're 8 hours away
She's like,
from
where
me.
are my
Why don't
tax
I
dollars going?
Take a road trip. I can take a road trip. I can take some time. I have time off. We can meet somewhere. I want him to follow through with what he has promised me, which is one, coming to meet me, because in the beginning I did want to meet him. I thought it would be nice. I thought it would be cool, and my husband was okay with it at that time. I have nothing to hide. I'm owning my mistake. I'm owning what I did, and I hope that people respect me for that, because I have nothing to hide. I don't feel like I necessarily did anything wrong. I think most of the blame lays on this particular person because
that's fair.
Was deceitful.
Yeah, most of the blame is on him.
Did I love him? No, not in that sense. And at this point, do I still care for him? I care for the person who I originally met, and it's sad to me.
Like, okay, she wants us to respect her for coming out and being honest about all this now, but how are we going to respect her when at the end of the day she's not being fully honest? Like, come on, lady, be for fucking real. You're still saying, like, oh, I didn't love him like that. Like, I didn't love him for real. Oh my god. Exactly, she's not owning her own mistakes, but at the same time, at the time that it's filming, like right now, you have to realize that, like, she doesn't know yet whether he's real or not. Like, she's still in denial. She's still, like, she is so gaslit. She is gaslit to all hell. This man has, or woman, like we literally don't even know who's behind that screen. It could be a bunch of raccoons stacked on top of each other. Whoever it is that have literally gaslit this woman out of all of her brain cells left.
Sarah cleared out her 401k, maxed out all of her credit cards, and sent her life savings to this man. This has forced her to pick up multiple part-time jobs to be able to survive.
We are struggling way more.
Dude's still happy as a clam.
We necessarily would have to. And then I think it got to the point where this has definitely sent me into.
Okay. Draco9 says, my geography teacher would be so disappointed. I would swear the denial is a river in Egypt, not Syria. I also love We Never Sleep says, you know, I can't help but wonder that love of penis she has could supplement her losses pretty well if she applied herself. Good point. Good point.
A depression financially, it's ruined us.
The couple are doing everything they can to get back on their feet. Sarah opened up an account on Feet Finder and has resorted to selling images of her feet to people.
I was not expecting this turn.
I would try to hustle, like by selling.
Let's get it.
That kind of weird stuff as well. It's not like I'm rolling in dough or anything like that. I'm trying to make a living, and you can sell feet pictures, but and stuff like that. I only sold a couple of those, and then
he blurred the feet.
I confessed everything to my husband and told him how much money I have sent John and everything, and you know, he basically said it's money and we'll deal with it as it comes along. I just kind of want to know if this person is actually who he says he is. I want closure. It's always on my mind.
Okay, can we just sit on that for a minute? So she finally tells him, hey, you know that guy that I've been talking to online this whole time? Well, I may have sent him literally our entire life savings. And he goes, money's just money. We can always make more. Hope he's doing okay. This is like Dumb and Dumber over here, dude. These are the two most gullible people on the planet. Like, I do not know who between them is stupider. Like, they're both catfishing each other basically. Well, he's not catfishing anybody that we know of. Like, John is making her think that she has this relationship with this man that doesn't exist. And quite frankly, she's doing the same thing to her own husband. Because she's in absolute denial about the realities of what's going on. And so is he. That's a lot more forgiving than I would have been. I would not endorse violence, but I would not be as calm as her husband is being. Whew, yeah. I would definitely want to go hit the heavy bag for a bit, to put it lightly. But I mean, and you guys know me, I am so far and away from the first person to say like divorce anytime there's a marital issue, but this one, yeah, we might have to hit the divorce button on this one.
Sarah provided us with a ton of information.
What if this is all because of the cat? Sorry, I know I just like immediately paused again, but what if like the whole reason they're staying together is like for the cat? If he's just like terrified he's gonna lose that cat. Like, think about it. Think about it. They both rep the I Love Cats shirts at all times. Like, neither of them can stand and lose custody of the cat. They'll do whatever it takes.
She kept all of the receipts for all the gift cards she purchased for
Kidnap
John,
the cat, bro.
the
We
check
got
she
you.
wrote, and every cash advance she took on her credit cards. By using the tools on our website, socialcatfish.com, our search specialist team was able to find the true identity of the man in the photos that John was claiming to be. Sarah and her husband were waiting patiently to find out if John was lying about who he truly was. After a few days of digging into everything, we felt that we had all the information to give clarity to Sarah and John. We sat down with Sarah first to get more insight on her relationship with John.
Just so you know, like, Brianna and I are married. We own this business together. You know, we've been out and, like, you know, there's guys that will give her attention, or even, I know you guys in the YouTube comments always leaving comments for her, but I laugh at it. For me, it's like not that big of a deal within boundaries, right? Or still showing somewhat respect. But like when you open yourself up to like having somebody tell you you're beautiful all the time in these long conversations, do you think that, like, you know, feelings start to evolve over that time because, you know, that those words are being traded, you know, all the time?
Did I care about him? Yes. Was I hoping to meet him in person? Yes. Did I have feelings for him that I probably shouldn't have? Yes.
There it is, finally.
Do I still have them? No, I don't think so. Because of everything that he's done, but it's very difficult to admit to yourself that you got played by somebody and that somebody is that cruel to do that to another human being. And I probably liked him. I liked the attention that he gave me, and I figured if I continued to do the things that he asked me to do and continue to
press X to doubt,
that he would continue to give me that praise. And so it kind of became kind of like an addiction, I guess, is how you view it.
We wanted to give Sarah the time to talk about her relationship with John. From how she described it, it seemed that there was intimacy involved, but her husband was okay with it. Brian then sat down with us to give his perspective on the situation, and this is what he had to say.
Hey, Brian.
Hi, Brian.
Here we
Obviously,
go.
we spoke to Sarah. You know, this has been going on for a few years. Walk us through, like, you know, what's been going on.
I just see it as this is just another day. it's just more of the usual.
So up until
This is
this
usual
point,
for you?
you still don't know the full
Brian.
story or the details.
Yeah, I don't know anything about John. I didn't even know his name until the other day. The only thing she really told me is that she was scammed out of about $60,000 and it was all investments.
Oh, so she lied about the
They're
money too. She lied to him about. So even when she comes out and tells him the truth, suddenly it's only $60,000. It was. We know that it was more than $60,000. I don't even think that it stopped at $250,000. It sounds like it was even more than that.
Have been losses more than $60,000.
Okay,
Oh, they just told him.
I'm just being honest with you.
right. Yep, that's fine.
Did she?
The only thing I wanted to do when she told me was I just wanted to support her any way I could because I knew she was in a really bad place.
When she continued to talk to him, like, how did that make you feel?
Oh God, I wish I could just do like a whole, like, body language assessment on this right now. Like, did you guys see that little lip quiver when he was like, "That's fine"? It reminded me of like the dog sipping the coffee while the room is burning around him meme, where he's like, this is fine. Like, that is this guy's entire life right now. Just, it's fine. Just the cope. But I think it's so accurate what Gus said earlier. Let me scroll just a little bit back up to your comment. He said, "I'm certain he's hurt. He's likely angry, but he also sees the woman he loves in excruciating pain and loves her." And it's like, in a way, the selflessness is admirable, but in another way, it's not. On the same token that you could see it as selfless, you could also see it as like really dumb loyalty. Like, just absolute blind disregard for the truth, just like a lemming running off and falling down the waterfall. Like, Can I just say what everyone's thinking? Brian's a cock. Yeah, you can say it. Someone's got to say it. I mean, because here's the thing, too, is you can only take so much from a person before you have to say, like, okay, I have wanted so badly to support you, but, like, it's time that now you carry the responsibility for what you're doing here, too. He's not giving any pushback is the frustrating thing. It would be admirable for him to be so understanding if he at least gave some respectable pushback. But he's not. Come on, Brian.
Honestly, I didn't know about that until today.
Your guys' relationship, your guys' relationship, but our goal is to help you guys out, to bring closure. Sounds like you're incredibly supportive, which is, I mean, how you keep a marriage going, right?
We wanted to talk to each of them individually to make sure that we weren't surprising anyone about the information that we were going over. Brian didn't seem to know about a lot of the details between Sarah and John. To be honest, it didn't seem like he wanted to know. But he did want to support his wife,
ignorance
whether
is
John
bliss,
was
I guess,
real or not. We brought them together, and it was time to let them know what we had found.
We did happen to find the real person in the image. The real man in the image, his name is Anthony Tingle.
He's not a celebrity or anybody that you guys would know, but he is somebody that has his image stolen all the time.
It turns out that John was lying about who he said he was. These images were stolen from a man
really
by the name of
expensive
Anthony.
bliss. Yeah,
this
no
man
kidding.
has nothing to do with the scam. He's a regular guy, and whoever was behind this profile using the alias John stole all of this innocent man's photos off of his social media profile. Unfortunately, John does not exist, and this whole thing was a romance scam.
That makes me feel better to know that
I'm so surprised.
I have a name now, and I know that this person.
Oh my god, that's her focus. Oh my god, after all that, like, her response is still like, so he's still a real person. So he is out there. So maybe Anthony wants to, girl, get it together.
Using his image. So that makes me feel better.
He's a victim too.
Yeah, because he's a victim.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, what he
is
said,
this
because he's a
looking like
victim,
for you
not
guys?
because
Like,
I want to
how are you guys
climb him like a
seeing
tree.
moving forward?
I know I've learned my lesson, and I will never be doing anything like this ever again. And
his face, dude. Oh my god.
I can only hope that it'll make us stronger. I just feel stupid.
It's just money.
I know, but
He's still trying to comfort
Is there anything that
her.
you want to say to Brian?
What does she bring to the
no,
table?
that I love him, and that I am super glad that
Besides dick.
he's willing to stand by me through the worst thing that I've ever done, and that I will probably, hopefully, ever do, and that he's here to help me through it, and that he is.
Oh my god.
He's been my rock the whole time. I mean, I would not be here if it wasn't for
He's
him.
just like, yeah, John would never do this.
Like I said, I'm here to
It's
support
me.
you any way I can,
I know.
and it's just money. I don't care if it's $50,000, $100,000, $200,000. I don't care. It's just money.
He's my soulmate. He's my better half, and everything. So I can't imagine my life without him. So that's where I'm at.
We took the next steps and looked into all the crypto wallets a few days later.
I
So,
guess we might find out
now
who's
that
really
things have
John.
kind of died down and you've got time to think about some of the stuff that we went through, where are you at?
I'm just ready for it to be done. I'm ready to cut off all contact with him now. Hopefully.
We looked into all of Sarah's financial information. She sent over
Ooh, thank you for the
$250,000
cheer.
just in Bitcoin to John. So here's how it worked. Sarah first exhausted all of her accounts, savings and 401k, along with her credit cards. She would buy gift cards and send the codes to John on the back of the cards. John would receive the code and sell the gift cards on websites like Paxful. All you need to do is have the code that was on the back of that gift card, and the website will buy your gift card for around 80 cents on the dollar. She would then receive money from other people from around the world that John was also scamming. Next, she'd take that money that she received and put it into Cash App. They have a feature in which you can turn your cash into Bitcoin. That's when she would send all of the funds to John's Bitcoin wallet.
We were able to put a really nice crypto graph together for you. I will have to admit, this is one of the largest.
Doesn't everyone just want to simply move on from their $250,000 mistake?
Wow. A few of the accounts were actually labeled investment scam, and what that tells me is these accounts have already been flagged.
And then we spent some time going through the list of people that you either sent or received money from. We were able to pull all of their Facebooks, all of their phone numbers. What we found were a bunch of normal people.
So they thought they were just...
Real quick, I want to touch on that. Flintlock says it's just all the money we need to survive. It's not a big deal. Like, I'm sorry, but like, again, this is one of those situations where even though his support looks admirable, like, oh, he's going to stand by her side no matter what, and he thinks that looks admirable, they just both look like idiots. Like, he looks like an idiot saying that, because even if you're trying to be comforting, at the end of the day, like, no, it's not just money, because your main working years should be attempting to secure some kind of future for yourself when you can no longer work. That's something that everyone needs to keep in the back of their minds, is that you should be preparing for some kind of a future for yourself. And God, there's just no survival instinct going on upstairs in either of their brains if he's not realizing that this is a woman who's absolutely jeopardizing his ability to live a life as an elderly person, or even like keep his house for the next 5 years, depending on how bad she's gotten them down bad.
Sending it to me, not that I was sending it on to somebody else.
Unfortunately, these people are victims just like you.
Luckily, it's quite possible for us to be able to trace who is behind these crypto wallets. We have also reached out to all of the other people who sent money to Sarah, so we can hopefully get more answers on why they were sending her money.
As far as you being online, has this been a lesson for you?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
So did you catch that? So remember how he built kind of like trust and rapport with her by occasionally sending money back to her to quote unquote repay her? So this is like a round robin scam this guy's got going on. So he, at the same time that he's scamming her, is scamming other people, and then like in order to kind of like reallocate his investment, he'll have the various people that he's scamming sometimes send their money to each other so that he's paying some of them back. Wow, I have to admire it a little bit. Yeah, that's what I said earlier. Sorry, I can't read all the he's probably got several women. See, no, I did read that you said that, and I was like, yeah, he's probably scamming multiple women at once, but I didn't put together that might be where, I guess it doesn't matter, because he's probably still getting that money from other people, so even if it came directly from him, I just think it's interesting the way he made it work, to where he was literally just having those people directly send her the money, so that it was one less thing linked to him. That's really interesting. Yeah, no, that wasn't... You got it right. I was slow to the game.
Not doing this anymore.
Sarah,
I would hope not.
I know
I could see her doing it again, though,
you
honestly.
like making friends. For yourself, just stay safe.
Yeah, I learned my lesson. We will not be sending anybody money unless it's somebody like physically, like I'm delivering it to them and I know who they are and they're super close friends with me.
So it's going to happen to her again, because that's what the Tinder swindler does.
Of mine, and I am hand delivering it to them.
He was in person, and it was hand delivered. So you've learned nothing. Oh my God.
This whole situation, where does this leave you and your marriage with your husband?
we've talked, obviously, about all of this, and right now Brian is pretty cool about everything. He's still in it for the long haul, just like I am. So,
I mean, to be honest, I think you're lucky to have him
I
for sure.
I know I am. I'm not blinded by that by any means. I know I am extremely lucky to have him, and that he's stood by my side through all of this. I just now need to work on myself and figure out why I did the things that I did, why I let him manipulate me and
Exactly,
everything
Bishop.
the way that he did, and why I let myself go like that. I have no idea.
We all make mistakes. We do want to say that we appreciate you for opening up about your story and just being so transparent about your life with your husband. Hopefully someone out there is, that's going through something similar as you, is able to watch this video and see your story, and they're able to pull themselves out of their situation.
Yeah. Let's hope. Let's hope.
Sarah blocked John after this interview.
Oh, really?
She filed a
Okay.
police report the following day, and we are submitting a KYC request. There's a high chance that we are able to go after the people that scammed her out of money. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Wow. Man, a lot of thoughts on that one. A lot of thoughts. What if like Brian becomes like the new bare minimum? Like, what if this becomes like what people are using now to be like, really, you're not gonna forgive me just because I sent like $2,000 to this guy that I met online and have been like talking intimately with for months, because this lady that I saw on the internet, her husband let her send $250,000. I'm like, I was totally cool with it. I can show you. So like, that's the bare minimum, actually. That's like the least you could do, is to just forgive me. Honestly. Like, really, if you really cared about me, like, you would actually pay me back for what I sent, because you would feel so bad. And I don't know how I feel about the fact that this dude just does not care. Shouldn't even mention educating others from her experience and her apology. That was the craziest part about all of it, was like, I don't think she learned a damn thing. And I think that, like, Brian is kind of partially responsible for her, like, inevitably continuing to be a shit stain on society, quite frankly. And, like, I know that's a really rough thing to say, because if you look at her actions and her behavior, really she only hurt herself and Brian, right? Like, there weren't any, like, mass casualties outside of their specific home. So maybe it's like rude to go that far, but there's no way that this is helping like the ultimate Darwinian journey, okay? Like, she hurt the cat. The cat was going to go to college and now it can't. Like, she learned nothing. They're like, well, are you ever going to do this again? She's like, I will never do this again. Well, unless, like, what if the stars align? Like, maybe. You can always reborrow the money once you earn it back. So, like, if the guy is in person, then yeah, I'll give him $250,000. And even when they're like, do you know why you did this? And she's like, I have no idea why I did this. If you don't even know why you did it, how can anybody trust that you won't do it again? If they had kids, do you think for a second she wouldn't have drained the college fund? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely she would have. There is not a single doubt in my mind. Because she truly got as much money as she could possibly have gotten. The kids are lucky that they don't have her, that's for sure. Oh my God. I don't even know how to feel. Like, I just cannot believe... I was really hoping to hear her say something along the lines of, like, Brian was really stoic on the show, but, like, he really is, like, so upset and disappointed, and I have a lot of work to do to earn back his trust, and, like, she really just made it seem like I'm a victim in all of this, you know, like this could have happened to anybody. Like, no, it really couldn't have. Like, there is a very small amount of people that this could happen to, actually, and it's only the really stupid ones. Truly, like, isn't it sad that the best part of the story is that she had so few friends and people in her life that she could have fucked over? Because if she would have had more friends, yeah, she would have been asking to borrow from them. If she would have had more family members, yeah, she would have been asking to borrow from them. You can't just read a romance novel? Oh my God. And I don't even want to... This is like just like those situations where the wife caters to the man, does everything for him, like sleeps with him 7 nights a week, sometimes more. I guess I can't say nights a week, but more than that amount of times. And he still cheats on her. Like, I refuse to believe that there was anything this man would not do for her. And you still needed more? You found the one guy in the world who will stand by your side while you obsessively thirst over other men constantly, lie to his face, spend literally all of his money desperately attempting to bone other dudes. You found the one dude in the world who will stay by your side and love you like completely unconditionally and not give you a single grain of shit for that. And you still need more? Jeez Louise, man. Like, at no point in time did she bring up the concept of, like, I might have to go to sex addiction therapy, quite frankly, because the level of which that I am obsessed with male genitalia and the lengths that I will go to potentially get male genitalia is severely unhealthy. There was none of that. There was no self-awareness whatsoever to be that much in denial about the situation that you're so obviously in. They can't afford therapy. John's in therapy. John needs therapy first. I bet that really was one of his scams too. I have so much PTSD from this war. I need money for therapy. And she's like, I love a man in therapy. Wasn't that the most whack shit though, that she was like, I just feel so bad that these men are at war in these conditions, so that's why I did it. And it's like, if you felt bad for men collectively at war in these conditions, you would be donating to, like, all of them, not just, like, the one hot guy in your DMs. Like, I think even now, like, I'm being gaslit still into giving her the benefit of the doubt, when in reality, I think this woman is a lot more abusive than I think she's letting on. Like, I think that this John guy is the worst that she's done. But I do not think by a long shot that it's the beginning of what she's done, or even like a small piece of the shit that this woman has done behind her husband's back. I think it's simply the worst of it, and the one time that she got caught. But I think that there's probably a lot worse that her husband does not know about, quite frankly. Whew. Well, that was a wild ride. But that's about all I had for you guys today. So thank you all so much. You guys are the best. We will do this again soon. Bye.